I was a little bit bummed out this morning, or last night. I checked my, checked the weather app, and it said it was going to rain Friday, Saturday, and a chance of rain Monday in Ludington. Well, the weather changed for today. Very small chance now of rain at the Meadows. It's always possible. It certainly was yesterday at Scioto. And still rain forecasted for the next 2 days. But we'll see. You know, I've done my best. Went to a new coffee place today. I'm not switching away from Starbucks. It's just every time, you know, every time I pull into Starbucks in Brunswick, right across the street, there's this little place. Now, I thought it was like a mom and pop place, but it looks like a franchise place. I've never heard it before, called The Human Being. I asked them what their most ordered drink was, and this is some sort of Irish cream thing. She said a lot of people like the iced one. I'll take both. We'll see how The Human Being does today. Not bad. I don't think I would stray away from Starbucks for this hot drink, so to speak. Not bad, though. Not bad. Now, in reference to last night, a ton of people asking, what are they going to do about the races? I had a conversation with Jason Roth on the way home, and he said, Anthony, that we have a couple little problems. First problem is, I just assumed they split the purse money up like they do in other stake races and other places, but that has to be baked into the rules, and it wasn't. Not only has it not, has to be contested. Has to be contested before the 4th of August, as per the rules for the fair race. I didn't know any of this, obviously. There's always technicalities. So they have to move it to tomorrow, 5:20. That's when Aunt Lily is going to race. Now, it impacts me because I can't be there at 5:20. I'm going to be at the Meadows. So Ronnie Wren had a horse in there, but told me that he thought that they were scratching. They weren't coming back for Saturday. Could be one of the same type of situation where we were going to race Thursday back Tuesday. Maybe these people are too. I don't know. Either way, Ronnie had already won with her. He can drive her, and if they do decide to race and he can't drive her, Brett's available. So, two very capable fill-ins, so to speak. So I'm not worried in that regard. But the problem is they had to move the sire stake because it was next Thursday. You know, just a side note. I love all the emails I get, and every time I always get emails from a gentleman, nice old guy named Joel, lives in New York, has a bunch of horses with us, the breeder of Sweeney, and a filly that we are going to bring. Sweeney's sister is going to be coming to the stable this fall also. But Joel is one of those rare animals where he does want to, I don't want to say he underappreciates his horses. He certainly doesn't do that. He undervalues them. And very rare. I would say, if I was to make up a foolish number, I would say less than 3% of the people that are watching this, less than 3% of our owners, undervalue your horses. I, like you, overvalue them sometimes. That's human nature. You have to really train yourself to undervalue your horses. And I love Joel for it. It makes my job easier, but you know, he was in lockstep with me. Thursday back Tuesday, stay in the Buckeye, go easy, you know, try to educate this filly for the 3-year-old season. But what I try to tell Joel, and I will caution everybody with this, you know, every year we have our sophomores and people say, just didn't come back as good as I hoped. Well, the last part of that sentence was on you, as you hoped. Sure, we hoped Pickpocket would come back and would be racing in the Hambletonian tomorrow. Didn't work out that way. But if you look at every major program in the U.S. right now, you will find them littered with sophomores that were good, either raced in the Breeders' Crown last year or raced in major stake races, but didn't come back that good. This is not a phenomenon that is tied to the stable.ca or myself or our trainers. It's just nature. It's the way it is. And the way I explain it is simple. I want to believe that we have our horses as good as they can possibly be for the majority of the rest of their life when they're 2. I think that's a feather in our cap. I don't feel embarrassed about that. Now, I won't go as far as to say people under-race their 2-year-olds and therefore they don't see the same results. That's unfair because it's on a case-by-case basis. But when it comes to Joel, I will caution everybody, the same as I caution Joel and everybody else. Get what you get when you can get it, because this industry is too tough You know, if we buy, you know, the way that we're trying to manage and forge a path forward for a Captain Incredible, yeah, it's a little bit different because expectations are so high. And we'll talk about him in a minute. But I will tell Joel the same thing, and I did tell him, careful what you can't. The last thing I ended up our email with was, you can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't have a good 2-year-old, under race it, do okay, come back at 3, have it okay, and say, well, what happened? Well, it could be that she was as good as 2 and she is a 3, and turns out we under raced her. And you guys know that. You guys aren't going to find too many old horseman philosophies found at the stable. And sometimes I'm wrong. I'm human. I make mistakes. But I grew up in this industry, as my brother Mark did, in a much different place. Grew up when hungry meant hungry. It didn't mean, ooh, you're hungry to win. No, it meant you're hungry. You're really hungry. And money's tight. That's what it meant. Never used to love tomatoes and lettuce and pickles until Harvey's opened up beside our house. And I realized they fill you up too. So it's just my driving style, the aggressive way that I am, is born from having that baked into me. Get it now. And it's posed a problem in my life when I was a driver with younger horses, because I approached every race with the mentality of, there's no guarantee you're driving this horse next week, and unless the trainer come up and said, hey, you know, this horse been off a couple of weeks, we're just trying to teach her, or, you know, just race her from the middle of the pack, I have no problem doing that. If you hand over the lines and say good luck, I'm heading to the winner's circle if I can. And that's just the way I've always approached every single race. That may sound silly. You may think to yourself, well, Anthony, that's how everybody should approach every race, but it isn't, right? When you're driving a horse for the first or second time in its life, you don't want to go out and gas it, you know, run it into the ground. You don't want to do that. It goes without saying. But at the same time, win if you can. Always win if you can. Always. So for Joel, love you to death. I realize that, you know, you come from a school where, you know, you want to race them till they're 6, 7, 8. And quite frankly, we closed that school. I don't mind racing them later. We've kept horses till they're 5, 6 if they're going to make useful horses. But my theory on that is simple. If we do our job right, that horse is probably going to run out of classes when it's 4. And then you have to race either in open age and sex condition classes or claimers. So that's my take on the way that we develop our horses. If I do my job right, and our trainers do their job right, and the drivers, whether it be me or anybody else, do their job right, those horses will run out of classes that they can hide in by the time they're 4 or 5. So, you know, it's just a different way of thinking. So back to the beaten path here for a second. So Aunt Lily will race Sunday. They moved the Sire Stakes back a week to August 17th. Super. That's Gold Cup night. That's the Poconos. I just got done trying to convince Dr. Ian Moore to fly from the Poconos to Prince Edward Island so that I can make, now assuming our horses make the final of the Gold Cup, so that I can make, time is on my side in the Max Hemp, that I can make Drebin and ready for landing in the Beal, which I plan on doing. And as soon as those races are over, fly to Prince Edward Island on that little plane. Which he somewhat agreed to. It's not set in stone, it's not locked in, but he agreed to it somewhat. I'll follow back up with Dr. Ian Moore soon. That's my plan. Can't stop in Scioto. Sorry, Columbus is not on the way, and I just simply don't have time. And listen, we're fortunate in the sense that Freedom Hill and Aunt Lily, pretty push button, both of them. Put them in a good spot, hope you're better than the rest. There's your driving strategy for both those fillies. So that's what went on last night for the most part. No point in talking about the rest of the day. It was a bit of a train wreck, a bit of a yard sale. But I will talk about what took place today. Man, 10 minutes into this email, I'm just now getting to the qualifiers, which everybody is waiting for. My apologies for you, those of you that have nodded off. Wake up! We'll talk about the qualifiers now. What a great day at the qualifiers. You knew that James and Harry were still going to continue to be super conservative. Why wouldn't they be? That's their job. With Captain Incredible, 56-3, 26-3 on the end of it. There's the speed we're all looking for. I actually had a couple of people say 28 on the end of it last week. Yeah, I mean, it'd be great if you qualified in 53-3 and come 24-4. That'd be super, wouldn't it? 56-3, 26-3 was good. It wasn't lost on myself, James or Harry, that he was on the left line. That's not new for him either. I did try and make an appointment with Dr. McKee, but she's on vacation. She's not back till next week. So what we will do is have the vets look at Captain Incredible there. And if he makes, I was going to say we could have Dr. Latessa look at him, but that's not going to be possible. Usually there'll be a truck going from Ontario straight to Kentucky, and he'll be on it. Now, Dr. Roberts is down there. Dr. Bosenjack, Dr. Grosenbach are all very capable, very, very smart vets also. I'm sure they can take care of Captain Incredible just fine, but Dr. McKee is not available. So I know Harry probably wanted to race him once, but his stake race is on August 13th. That's the second leg of the Kentucky Sires. The timing of all this is just a couple of days short, right? We could have went on the, let's say that raced him on, let's say the 7th. No, the 7th would be back in 5 days. The 8th back, you know, if it was just 2 days later, maybe, and the days lined up, but they don't. So his first start will more than likely be at the Red Mile, which is fine. The only problem we have now is finding stalls for everybody. I know that Militant is a +1 in our burn right now, which means we're borrowing a stall for him. We had a couple, 3 horses to go down. We just haven't found the stalls yet. I'm going to call the lady, I think her name is Peg, and put her on the spot today and just say, listen, surely there's some stalls somewhere. If not, if there's no trainers that are willing to give up stalls, well, we may have to move some horses around and give them to some trainers, I suppose. I mentioned Mr. Brinson. He's stabled in our barn in Kentucky. Seems like a very good guy, sharp guy, seems to do his work well, always has a clean barn. There's someone we can call. I know I could easily say, well, we could give Captain Incredible to Ronnie, but he's not going to have room for him for the same reason he didn't take him 2 months ago. I can ask. I think I know the answer. And then get some horses down there as quickly as we can. Now, qualifiers, as I said, 26-3 on the end of it, a mile, 56-3, a great mile from him. The rest of the card, I expected that from him. I don't know that I expected the other miles, though. What a huge mile. Resolve Indeed finished up right in behind James, who went with Benoit Bergeron's. Resolve Indeed, 2 minutes, 28 flat. I'm thinking in my head 2-2, 2-3, probably raced them in the Prospect 3, 3A, 3B, and then go to the 4th Sire Staker Grassroots. Makes the most sense to me. I'm not so sure she can't just jump right into the Grassroots. Now, I'll talk to Harry. I don't want to race her overhead. And that what I had laid out in my head, the Prospect, those 3 legs, you can race in 3 for the 1 Grassroots. That's still on the table, but I'll talk to Harry about it. What about Princess Dream also? Looks, my God, she's got a sweet gait. God. 2-1 flat, 28-2. She looked beautiful. And what are the last halves here? I didn't check Captain Incredible's last half, 4 3/4 back. He's at the half in 1 minute and 1/5. Last half in 56-2 for him. Resolve Indeed is 3 1/2 back, 102-1. Last half in 58 flat. Princess Dream, half in 102-4, a mile and 2-1. Last half 58-1. And then the one that quietly, the line looks fantastic. Gaslight Hall. He's at the half in 103 and goes a mile in 2 minutes and 4/5. Last half 57-4. Last quarter 27-4. Now, I will make this line even more interesting for you. Princess Dream and Gaslight Hall have never seen the starting gate in their life before today. Not one time. They might have seen it at Joe's out jogging around, but they've never seen a starting gate in their life. And both of them went right up to it and did their work like professionals. So a great job by Danny and Dominic and Cindy and Emily, everybody that takes care of those horses. Nellie with Harry and Bobby. just a great job by everybody to get those horses ready to go exactly when we said. I told you guys end of July for Princess Dream, and if the qualifiers were the middle of the week, I would have been right on target. But August 2nd was the first opportunity to qualify the horses. So they qualified on August 2nd. I am thoroughly pleased with what I saw from today so far. A little disappointed with the weather report coming up for the next 2 days now. It does say that that we may miss it tonight. There's a very good chance we'll miss the rain tonight. We'll see. We'll see how that plays out, because I would rather not race in the rain when we're racing Manhattan Money. I didn't check Scioto. I hope it doesn't rain there. Scioto, Roser and AJ. What are his odds, Roser and AJ? 15 to 1. On what planet? Oh, yeah, this is the Ohio State thing, right? Yeah, it's a tough crew. Not 15 to 1 Arrowhead Hanover. 8 to 5. He's slightly favored, I think, or slightly second favorite. I'm not sure. Jim Campbell's horse is unbeaten, and Jim Campbell is a consummate thorn in our side all over the world. He does a great job with his horses, a great job with his trotters, a tremendous young talent developer, and going to be tough tonight for him. But our first 3 starters of the day are all stake races. And then we have Watch Your Mouth looking to bounce back. 3-point Blue Chips, Stay Close. JK Victory looking to get back on the rails also. So that's what's up for today, Friday, August 2nd. The 3rd, obviously, we have Tactical Mounds. Aunt Lily is now going to race at 5:20 in the afternoon, the evening, I guess. Blue Ventura, looks like there's some rain coming on Saturday, which is going to suck. Blue Ventura, he's a great guy. Rock Shining Star, yes, we opted to race him before sending him to PEI, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. He's going to get fluids and treated after the race. He's going to get back on a truck, go back to Sabra Farms. He's going to get up in the morning. Doyle Transport's going to drive over there and pick him up with Stay America already on the truck, go back to Ontario, get some more fluids running in them, have a nice, easy Monday, and I'm going to ask Kirby if maybe leaving early Tuesday morning might be best. We'll see if he can accommodate that or not. That would be perfect. In fact, Jamie Smith reminded me the other day that Sintra arrived on Thursday for the Gold Cup on Saturday. I don't understand why everybody wants to be down there 12 days before. Hey, you want to get out and have a vacation, great. But this idea that they have to acclimate for 2 weeks is... I don't want to say it's wrong. Everybody's different. I just don't understand the theory behind it. And then ready for landing Saturday night also. Gypsy Hill, Irresistible Sun, they're buried, but going to do the best they can. Patrick the Piranha, Prince Charmer, Purple People Eater, I'm Fancy Like are all in good spots. Sunday, first start in the Belle Province for Cleveland Masha. Man, kind of excited to watch her race in Three Rivers on Sunday. My Wicked Heart will go to Clinton, and Arson is her only starter in Kentucky on Sunday. Monday, it gets really cool. All the Kentucky horses are in. Scott chose Pickpocket. I hope and believe that Todd McCarthy will get Memory and Imagination. Scotty will drive all the rest of them, which is perfect. That helps me out. James took Chicago Hall. That helps me out, and that's important because I am, as I promised, going to Michigan. On Sunday and Monday, I'm taking the family. We're going to stay in Silver Lake, which is about 30 or 40 minutes from Ludington, but it seems like it's a really beautiful, kind of touristy family area, which means that not only is it a little working holiday for me, but a little holiday for the kids also. A little bit of driving. But as you may have guessed already, we're okay with that. So with that, I'm going to let you go. Have a wonderful day. It's a great start to our day. Wonderful qualifiers. As I said to our crew in Ontario, great job. I will talk to everybody very soon. Take care.